giant of the ocean. Beneath the deep blue waters of the ocean, where sunlight fades into fragile silver threads, life continues to pulse. This is the kingdom of the planet's most colossal and mysterious beings. From the frozen poles to the warm equator, ocean currents nourish countless plankton, tiny drifters that sustain the vast marine ecosystem. Temperatures here range from -1 to 30 degrees Celsius, creating a rich biological world where the largest creature ever to exist glides slowly through the endless sea. The blue whale, Baleinoptera musculus, is the largest animal to have ever lived on Earth. An adult can reach 30 meters in length and weigh over 150 tons. Its heart weighs more than 180 kilograms, beating just a few times per minute, strong enough to pump life through its massive body. Each time it surfaces, a powerful spout rises 12 meters high, a sign of the silent monarch of the open ocean. Despite its size, it feeds on the tiniest of life, krill, minute crustaceans that swarm in cloud-like masses beneath the waves. Each day, an adult blue whale consumes up to 4 tons of krill. When it feeds, the pleated skin on its throat expands sixfold to hold both water and prey. Instead of teeth, it has hundreds of baleen plates, giant natural filters that trap food as water flows out. The blue whale is the loudest animal on Earth, producing sounds up to 188 decibels, powerful enough to travel hundreds of kilometers underwater. These low-frequency calls are the language of the ocean, used to find mates, navigate, and communicate across vast distances. When breeding season arrives, they migrate from frigid polar waters to warmer seas to give birth, a journey spanning thousands of kilometers each year. After nearly a year of gestation, the mother gives birth to a calf 8 meters long, weighing up to 3 tons, the largest newborn on the planet. Each day, the calf drinks around 200 liters of milk, gaining nearly 90 kilograms, a record growth rate among mammals. But the mother's stored fat will not last forever. If they leave too early, the calf will be too weak. If they stay too long, the mother risks starvation. Five weeks after birth begins one of the longest migrations of any mammal, 3,000 miles north, across the Pacific to Alaska, where the mother can finally feed again. As adults, blue whales become true nomads of the ocean, territorialist wanderers, following the flow of food and the echoes of their kin. Their average cruising speed is 10 kilometers per hour, but when needed, they can surge to 30, astonishing for an animal weighing over 100 tons. With slow heartbeats and immense lung capacity, they can hold their breath for 30 minutes and dive to depths exceeding 500 meters. At that depth, water pressure is 50 times greater than at the surface, yet high concentrations of myoglobin in their muscles allow them to thrive in the dark. killer whales sometimes prey on young calves, but adult blue whales have virtually no natural enemies. A single tail strike can unleash a wave of force, powerful enough to drive away predators, both a weapon and a symbol of dominance. Yet despite their might, blue whales once teetered on the brink of extinction, victims of centuries of hunting for oil and meat. By the mid-20th century, their population plummeted from 350,000 to fewer than 10,000, a tragedy born of human greed. Thanks to international protection, such as the IWC ban of 1986, whaling was prohibited, and blue whales began a slow recovery. Today, an estimated 15,000 to 20,000 remain, ranging from the North Pacific to Antarctica, a testament to nature's resilience. Beyond their size, blue whales are engineers of the ocean. Their nutrient-rich waste fertilizes plankton, which in turn absorb atmospheric CO2. When they die, their massive bodies sink to the seafloor, creating whale falls, deep-sea ecosystems that sustain hundreds of species for decades. Their existence reminds us that even the largest beings on Earth are fragile in the face of human-driven change. But not every journey is smooth. The skin of these giants forms a moving ecosystem, and with it comes burden. These are barnacles, parasitic crustaceans clinging to their skin. In large numbers, they cause drag and discomfort, but an astonishing bond has emerged. Blue whales have been observed approaching boats, seemingly seeking help, allowing humans to remove the barnacles. Each shell pried away is a small weight lifted, a quiet moment of connection between two of Earth's most intelligent species.
Great white shark, the terror of the ocean. The ocean covers 70% of the Earth, home to creatures both majestic and mysterious. Deep beneath the waves lurks a predator that strikes fear throughout nature. Beneath the surface, the great white shark, Carcharodon carcharias, emerges, the ocean's apex killer, a symbol of power and evolutionary perfection. With a tall dorsal fin and a powerful tail, it can reach speeds of 56 km/h, a born athlete of the sea, ready to strike in a split second. With a tall dorsal fin and a powerful tail, it can reach speeds of 56 km/h, a born athlete of the sea, ready to strike in a split second. When a tooth breaks, another from the rows behind moves forward to replace it, like a deadly conveyor belt, ensuring the jaws remain ever perfect. Their teeth are coated with fluorapatite, an extremely hard, acid-resistant compound that prevents decay, a masterpiece of evolution. They inhabit temperate and tropical oceans worldwide, with major populations found in South Africa, Australia, California, Mexico, and New Zealand. South Africa, especially Seal Island and False Bay, is the capital of great whites, where dense seal colonies provide a rich energy source. Their hunting strategy: hide deep below, then burst upward at incredible speed. A sudden strike from the shadows leaves prey no time to react. With explosive force from below, great whites perform a breaching attack, launching their entire bodies out of the water to seize prey. One precise, devastating bite. A great white's bite force is estimated to be 4,000 times stronger than a human's. This is pure instinct for survival, a vital mechanism that keeps seal populations healthy by removing the weak and the sick. Beyond hunting, they migrate thousands of kilometers each year, from cold, nutrient-rich waters to warmer breeding grounds. California and Mexico's Isla Guadalupe are key gathering spots, offering scientists rare opportunities for observation. Each encounter provides invaluable data, helping us understand their behavior, migration patterns, and ecological role. Cage diving allows safe close-up observation, revealing the intelligence and curiosity of this often misunderstood predator. Ironically, the same waters they hunt in are where humans go for recreation, leading to unwanted encounters. Most attacks are cases of mistaken identity, when sharks confuse humans for seals. After one bite, they often swim away. In nature, they play a crucial role in maintaining balance. Great whites regulate seal and large fish populations, preserving oceanic order. Without them, seal numbers would explode, smaller fish would decline, and marine ecosystems would collapse. The great white is nature's shield. Yet paradoxically, they are now endangered. The IUCN lists the great white shark as a vulnerable species requiring urgent protection. The brutal shark fin trade, driven by the demand for shark fin soup, has pushed this magnificent species to the brink of extinction. An estimated 100 million sharks are killed each year, an unsustainable toll that is devastating oceans worldwide. But amid the darkness of destruction, a glimmer of hope emerges from the very people who once feared them most. When a young great white became stranded, the local community rallied together, a race against time to save a life. On land, the shark's own weight can crush its gills, causing suffocation. Water is essential for its survival. Bucket by bucket, every effort was made to return the predator to its true home, the ocean. This extraordinary act marked a shift in human perception, a growing realization of the need to protect sharks. With the help of authorities and a small boat, hope was rekindled for this struggling creature. Dragging it gently across the sand, back to deeper waters, a tense yet compassionate rescue. The decisive moment. The shark is released. It must swim on its own, forcing water through its gills to breathe again. And it does. Returned to the ocean, this shark carries with it a story of human unity and compassion for the natural world. Life and survival between wolves and grizzly bears. Dawn breaks over the Rocky Mountains, where pine forests rise through thick mist. The morning temperature is just a few degrees Celsius, the cold, damp air creating a majestic yet harsh scene. This is the domain of two top predators, gray wolves, the masters of cooperative hunting, and the mighty grizzly bear, a solitary creature of overwhelming strength. Wolves can run continuously for 60 kilometers in a single day, reaching speeds of 65 km/h in a chase. They rely on unity to bring down prey many times their size. By contrast, grizzlies can weigh up to 400 kilograms, with a bite stronger than a lion's and claws nearly 10 centimeters long. A single swipe can knock down a bison. Despite their differences, both often depend on shared food sources. Salmon during spawning runs, moose calves, or carrion left behind from winter. When prey is scarce, fierce competition erupts. Wolves rely on numbers. Bears rely on brute force. A wolf pack discovers the carcass of an old elk left behind after the winter. This is a treasure trove of nutrition, enough to sustain the entire pack for days. But they are not the only ones drawn to it. An adult grizzly has also caught the scent of the feast from kilometers away, with a sense of smell 7 times stronger than a bloodhound's. The wolves quickly shift formation, circling, snapping at the air, growling. It is a classic tactic to intimidate and test their opponent's response. But the bear does not yield easily. It rises on its hind legs, its massive body blocking the light, and unleashes a deep roar that echoes through the forest. A tense, psychological standoff. One side armed with collective intelligence, the other with sheer power. These moments often decide life or death. Will the wolves risk everything? Or will the bear endure until they lose heart? A wolf darts in. Quick bite, then retreat. This is how they probe for weaknesses while also wearing down their adversary. The alpha wolf shows courage, but it knows a single blow from the bear could mean mortal injury. The grizzly's thick fur and fat layers absorb the wolf's bites. Its sole focus remains on the meal before it. In this battle for survival, a single mistake can be fatal. The bear's strength prevails, but with a tragic cost. The wolf pack suffers a heavy loss. The price of defending their meal is far too high. Silence blankets the grief. Now they must retreat. Their strong social bonds will help them endure, but the pain remains. The victor claims its reward. This high-energy meal will help the bear store enough fat to endure the long winter ahead. The conflict between bears and wolves is an inseparable part of the ecosystem, shaping the fragile balance between apex predators. In this unforgiving land where weakness has no place, life goes on. Each species must continue its own path of survival. After such a tense encounter, the pack's hierarchy may be shaken, with minor fights breaking out to reestablish order. The bear, full and satisfied, moves on. The wolves return to what remains. In nature, nothing is wasted. The struggle between wolves and bears has played out for thousands of years, helping to preserve ecological balance. Wolves regulate deer and elk populations, preventing the grasslands from being overgrazed. Bears clean up carcasses, reducing the spread of disease. Though fierce rivals, both are essential to the Rocky Mountain ecosystem. Two species, two strategies, yet together they teach us a lesson in resilience. In the wild, there are no eternal victors, only the endless cycle of survival. And we, humans, are but small observers before this grand stage. The ruthless predators of the ocean. The ocean, the cradle of life, vast and majestic. Its surface may appear calm, but beneath lies a world in constant turmoil. Hidden here is an incredibly diverse ecosystem, from vibrant coral reefs to the most mysterious creatures on Earth. Coral reefs are home to thousands of fish species, creating a vivid portrait of nature's harmony. The octopus, the master of disguise in the sea. Its skin can change color and texture in an instant to blend with its surroundings. The symbiotic relationship between clownfish and sea anemones is one of the most iconic images. A special mucus layer protects the clownfish from the deadly tentacles of the anemone. Sea turtles, the ancient travelers, have existed since the time of the dinosaurs. They spend nearly their entire lives wandering through the ocean. Yet beneath this serene beauty lies a relentless hunt. Life and death are an inevitable part of nature's law. And here, the apex predator of the seas emerges, the great white shark, a perfect killing machine evolved over millions of years. With hundreds of razor-sharp serrated teeth and a sense of smell that can detect a single drop of blood from kilometers away, they are the terror of the ocean. Tiger sharks are also formidable hunters. Known for their indiscriminate diet, they are willing to swallow almost anything in their path. Their power and agility are proof of the incredible adaptations needed to survive in the harsh underwater world. Seals, intelligent and playful marine mammals. They often gather in groups to frolic and communicate with each other. However, that playfulness can be cut short at any moment. Great whites often ambush prey from below at terrifying speed. This moment shows the fragility of life in nature, where the boundary between hunter and prey is razor thin. A successful strike, a brutal yet vital act to maintain balance within the ocean's ecosystem. The victor earns a meal, and the cycle of life continues. Nothing is wasted in the wild. But sharks are not the only rulers. Another force, smarter and more organized, reigns over the cold seas. Killer whales, or orcas, are in fact the largest species of dolphin on the planet. They possess exceptional intelligence and complex social bonds. Orcas live and hunt in family pods, where knowledge and experience are passed from generation to generation. They can communicate with complex sounds and coordinate to carry out astonishing hunting strategies. A massive pod of dolphins is on the move. Their speed and synchronization create a rare, majestic, natural spectacle. Yet they too are targets of cunning predators. The orcapod begins its hunt. By coordinating, they isolate one dolphin from the group, turning it into a lone vulnerable target. This is not just a race of speed, but also a battle of wits, where the pod strategy is applied with perfection. A powerful strike sends the prey flying into the air. This is both an effective attack and a way for orcas to teach the young hunting skills. Their seamless coordination reveals the remarkable intelligence and social cohesion of this species. The hunt continues. Orcas do not give up easily. They persist until the prey is exhausted. Every member of the pod has a role, from driving and attacking to teaching the next generation. A lone dolphin stands no chance against the strength and intelligence of an entire orca family. In the waters off Argentina, a group of orcas has developed a unique hunting skill found nowhere else in the world. They wait for their favorite prey, young seals, to wander near the shoreline during high tide. The technique of intentional stranding requires precise calculation of timing, speed, and angle of attack. This skill is not instinctive but learned, and only a few orcas worldwide can master it. A spectacular lunge. The orca uses its own body weight to slide on the waves and seize its prey right on the beach. After catching its prey, it must skillfully retreat back into deeper water. A single mistake could leave it stranded forever. The struggle for survival never ends. This is the eternal law of the ocean, a world both breathtaking and unforgiving. Alaska. The struggle for survival in the wilderness. There is a place on Earth that still preserves its raw, majestic beauty, a land of extremes. That place is Alaska, often called America's last frontier. Spanning more than 1.7 million square kilometers, Alaska is the largest state in the United States, a vast world of ice and towering mountains. Here, massive mountain ranges rise into the sky, including Denali, the tallest peak in North America at 6,190 meters, standing like colossal sentinels. The landscape is a blend of endless taiga forests and frozen tundra. Thousands of glacial lakes glitter like jewels beneath the sunlight. In winter, temperatures can drop below -40 degrees Celsius. Yet when night falls, Alaska unveils one of the most spectacular light shows on Earth, the Northern Lights. Amid such harsh conditions, life persists. Herds of caribou migrate across the snow-covered plains in search of scarce food. And hidden in the forest, a solitary predator lurks, the lynx. With its thick coat and oversized paws that work like snowshoes, it is perfectly adapted by nature to hunt and survive in this frozen kingdom. This majestic stage hosts diverse survival stories. The moose, the largest member of the deer family, searches for food in the snow. With its massive antlers, it reigns as king of the northern forest. Even the smallest creatures must endure. The gray squirrel, tireless and determined, scurries across the deep snow to forage and store food, preparing for the long winter ahead. Yet no animal symbolizes the strength and beauty of the Arctic more than the polar bear, the true ruler of the ice. Equipped with thick fat and an insulating coat, it is built for survival in this frozen realm. The polar bear's favorite and most important food is the seal. The polar bear's favorite and most important food is the seal. Their very existence depends on sea ice, the platform where they hunt, rest, and raise their young. Along Alaska's coastal waters lies another rich ecosystem. The drifting ice floes provide safe havens for seals. They rest, bask in the sun, and remain alert for hidden dangers beneath the waves. But below the deep blue water, an apex predator rises, the killer whale or orca. Masters of intelligence and hunting, they dominate the ocean. They have spotted a lone Weddell seal on an ice floe. A hunt is about to begin. The orcapod demonstrates astonishing teamwork, relying on perfect coordination. They employ a remarkable technique known as wave hunting. With clever precision, they swim together toward the ice, creating waves that crack and destabilize the floe where the seal clings desperately. Terrified, the seal scrambles higher onto the shrinking ice. But that is not enough to escape the hunters. With seasoned expertise, the orcas launch a second assault. Charging together at high speed, they generate a massive artificial wave. The surge smashes into the ice, sweeping the unlucky prey into the freezing water. Once in the water, the hunt enters its final stage. The pod works together to isolate and overpower the seal. In Alaska, life and death are inseparable, an unforgiving yet perfectly balanced cycle, composing the wild symphony of the last frontier. Gray wolf, ruler of the northern wilderness. As the last rays of sunset fade, the northern hemisphere descends into a long and unforgiving winter. This is the kingdom of snow, of deadly silence, and the realm of one of the planet's most cunning predators, the gray wolf, Canis lupus. Life seems frozen beneath the thick blanket of snow. But for the gray wolf, this is its time. Its long, thick coat changes color with the seasons, providing perfect camouflage. In winter, the silvery gray or pale white fur turns them into invisible phantoms, blending seamlessly into the snow. An adult emerges, watching and listening. With extraordinary senses of smell and hearing, it can detect prey from several kilometers away. This male wolf can weigh up to 70 kilograms, a hunting machine honed by millions of years of evolution. The howl is not a cry of loneliness, but an invisible bond. It is a rallying call, a way to communicate, to mark territory and to reinforce the unity of the pack. The howl carries for miles across the frozen forest, a declaration of the ruler's presence. Winter forests are not home to wolves alone. Smaller creatures also struggle to survive. From sparrows searching for leftover seeds to bold squirrels, each plays its part in the fragile food chain. Gray wolves are not solitary. They are highly social animals, living in tightly structured packs. A typical pack consists of 5 to 12 individuals, though in favorable conditions, the number can reach as many as 30. Each wolf holds a clearly defined position in the hierarchy. At the top stands the alpha pair, one male and one female. They are not only the main breeding pair, but also the leaders, making all decisions, from the direction of travel to the timing of hunts. Next are the beta wolves, the loyal lieutenants, ready to assist and potentially succeed the alphas if necessary. At the bottom is the omega rank, usually the weakest or youngest, often bullied, fed last, and sometimes serving as a stress reliever for the pack. Yet within wolf territory roams another creature that even they must respect, the North American bison, the gentle giant of the plains. Among the largest mammals in the Americas, a mature bull can weigh up to 1,000 kilograms and stand nearly 2 meters tall. They are true living fortresses. Winter strips away their food, forcing the bison to use raw strength to dig through thick snow in search of dry grasses. Their breath freezes in the icy air. Survival is a relentless struggle against hunger and cold, and their presence inevitably attracts predators. The confrontation is inevitable. The pack, armed with strategy and coordination, begins to encircle the massive prey. They target the weak or isolated individuals. But the bison will not surrender easily. A single charge can kill a grown wolf. This is a deadly gamble. Perseverance, stamina, and pack strategy are the wolves' weapons. They harass the giant constantly, exhausting it bit by bit. Each bite, each lunge is calculated to drain the bison's strength. The battle rages fiercely, staining the white snow with crimson. The mystery of the brown bear, a journey of survival in nature. Nairamwan, amid the vast taiga and icy mountains of North America, a giant has endured for thousands of years. The brown bear, the largest omnivore of the Northern Hemisphere. Its scientific name is Ursus arctos, ranging from Europe and Siberia to Alaska. It is one of the most widespread and adaptable bear species on the planet. An adult can weigh nearly 800 kilograms and stand over 2.4 meters tall on its hind legs, with fur ranging from golden brown to dark black, a true symbol of northern wilderness strength. But strength alone does not guarantee survival. They must endure long, freezing winters and brief summers, a harsh trial of endurance. In Siberia's taiga, Eurasian and Siberian brown bears feed on berries, insects, and occasionally hunt deer or wild boar to maintain their energy. In North America, the grizzly bear is famed for its muscular shoulder hump, which gives it the power to dig for roots and bring down large prey. Their claws, more than 10 centimeters long, are strong enough to flip rocks, dig out burrowing animals, and fight off rivals if necessary. Each subspecies has its own traits. The colossal Kodiak of Alaska, the salmon-hunting Kamchatka bear of Russia, and the Eurasian brown bear spread across the old continent. In Alaska's summer, when millions of red salmon migrate upstream, it becomes a grand feast for the brown bears. Each bear stands motionless by waterfalls, waiting for the precise moment a salmon leaps, to snatch it with powerful jaws. In a single day, a bear can eat more than 30 kilograms of fish. The fat and protein from salmon allow them to build reserves for the long winter. Meanwhile, taiga brown bears lack salmon. They rely on berries, honey, and hoofed animals like deer and elk. Despite differences, the common goal remains: to gain enough fat. A bear can put on up to 180 kilograms in just a few summer months. As autumn arrives, they enter the calorie race, consuming tens of thousands of calories each day in preparation for hibernation. When snow blankets the land, brown bears retreat to mountain dens. They vanish from the outside world for months. In darkness, their heart rate drops to only 8 beats per minute, breathing slows, and the body survives entirely on stored fat. A miracle occurs. A mother bear can give birth during hibernation without ever leaving the den. Cubs are born weighing only 400 grams, tiny as squirrels, but grow rapidly on their mother's rich, fatty milk. When spring arrives, the mother awakens and leads her young outside, beginning their first survival journey. The world outside is full of dangers. Cubs must learn to forage and avoid threats from the very start. Only half of bear cubs survive to adulthood, facing starvation, brutal winters, and predators. Those that endure grow quickly, and within a few years, they become rulers of the northern forest. An adult bear commands a territory spanning hundreds of square kilometers, constantly roaming in search of seasonal food. They rarely attack humans, but will become fiercely aggressive if threatened or protecting cubs. The greatest threat to brown bears does not come from nature, it comes from humans. Poaching and habitat loss drove many populations into severe decline during the 20th century. Today, protected areas from Kamchatka to Yellowstone strive to safeguard this iconic species. The IUCN lists brown bears as least concern, yet subspecies such as the Kodiak and Kamchatka remain in urgent need of protection. Brown bears play a vital ecological role, dispersing seeds, controlling ungulate populations, and maintaining balance in the taiga forest. In the silence of the deep forest, the brown bear continues its journey of survival, mysterious and majestic, as it has for thousands of years.